mean-spirited government wrapping it up in austerity. No one believes them.
In this debate, Mr Speaker, used to be a man of vision. He used to have passion for New Zealanders. He wanted to, Mr Chair, he wanted to do the right thing for New Zealanders. And I would, for a moment, before I talk about this part of the bill and how concerned I am about that last speech, say that in as far as Canterbury is concerned, he has worked extremely hard over the years for Kate Wilkinson's constituents to make sure that they have a better lifestyle down there. But what I would say to you is that, no, there's some more coming, Clayton. Just wait, there's certainly some more coming. In 2008, Mr Speaker, he and the party opposite were out of touch and out of time. What's happened this year? They're still out of touch, but they've got all the time in the world. And he's had lots of time this afternoon to read part one of this part of the bill, and that was all we got. The same old rhetoric that's always come from the Labour Party that New Zealanders were sick of only 6 months ago and, of course, 3 years ago before that, and it keeps on coming. Well, can I ask one thing of the members opposite? Please keep it on coming, because on this side of the House, we want to get out there and talk about the issues that are important to New Zealanders. So what's important to New Zealanders, Mr Speaker? Important to New Zealanders in part one of this bill is about balancing the books, investing more in education and making things fairer for all New Zealanders, not the things we've heard from them opposite. Now, I want to come to part one, section 5. Yes, quite right. And I want to say to members opposite, only in the Labour Party, don't be worried anymore. This does not apply to you. There will be no restrictions on the use of the herd scheme when it comes to the way you get together and work out what it is that we must do for New Zealanders. This is about livestock, not members opposite in the Labour Party. And the reason that that's important... What was that?
This member's very close to a lot of livestock. Oh, come on!
Mr Chair, I'm going to yield in a moment because I'm keen to hear from the Minister. But I'm keen to know whether in section 5, when it's restricting the use of herd schemes, are there farmers that use this scheme that take a cow from one of their neighbours, maybe a neighbour gives them a cow, and they decide to go on to Trade Me and sell it to somebody else for more money than it was given to them for, or they might have bought it for? Could this part of this bill be used on Trade Me to take something that's been given to you, or maybe something you've bought? Let's say you buy a cow from your neighbour for $500. Could you go and sell that on Trade Me the next day for $1,000? Or if he gave it to you, could you sell it on Trade Me for an amount more than it's worth? I'd be interested to hear from the Minister on that. Because on this side of the House, I would hope no member would do that. What about tickets to go and view that cow singing or dancing? Could you do that on Trade Me? The tickets to that cow were this part of the bill? I think not. Mr Speaker, I want, as all of my colleagues on this side of the House want to do, get back to our electorates, because many of us are electorate MPs, and talk to New Zealanders about the important parts of this budget. Now, this is an important bill, and we must move forward with this. This is an important bill because it helps rebalance our economy, helps us focus on what's important for New Zealanders, helps us spend money in areas that New Zealand want us to be more productive for education around our children. And as with most people who are watching television, Mr Speaker, a Labour MP is going to get, Mr Chairman, a Labour MP will get up in a moment. Don't adjust your TV. The sound you'll hear is meant to come from them. There's not a problem with the television. Thank you.
I'll call Sue Moroney.
Thank you, Mr Chair. And yes, if people are still